What's up guys, today on Rebels Off-Road, we're gonna be changing out a tire, and we're not gonna be just changing the tire because that'd be a boring video, right? We're actually going to be taking the tire off of the wheel and putting on a brand new tire on the wheel out in the conditions that we would be at like a campsite or on the trail. So as you can see, it is very cold out here in West Virginia right now. Got a lot of snow on the ground, stuff like that. We have some new tools we're gonna be checking out. This one is the Beadbuster. The folks down at Beadbuster are really nice, and they sent me out some products for us to test out, see what we think about it. And so we're gonna go ahead and get into that right now. We're gonna unbox it, we're gonna use it, we're gonna give it a little review on it, as well as tell if we think this is something that we're gonna add to our toolbox. Stay tuned, smash that like button and subscribe for more great content, and we're gonna get started in this video right now. So here at Rebels Off-Road, we like to have the right tool for the job. And so this Beadbuster is made for a specific reason, and it is to bust the bead off of the wheel. So I'm super excited to get into this. We have their XB 450, which is their standard Beadbuster. That is what they originally came up with, and this will do the job. Aha. And then this one is their XB 550, which is their heavy duty version.
Duty.
This one has upgraded materials and is just much bigger than their standard duty one. This one is going to be more so for like your 35-inch tires plus. That 450 also will work for it, but this one is going to be a better product for that. So this is the one we're going to be using on our 35-inch tires. Oh, I got some nice Beadbuster gloves here. Nice. Got some tire spoons. Awesome, all right. Got a valve core tool. And then I think this is gonna be the paste. Yep, so this is gonna be the tire mount lubricant. Go Bead. Now this is what they consider their holy trinity. That is, they have the mounting lubricant, the tire spoons, the Beadbuster, a valve stem core, and some gloves.
Math is hard.
This is what you're gonna need to get a tire completely off of the wheel and a new one back on. So that's why it's called like kind of the holy trinity, if you will, of the off-road tire change. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox this. Gonna show you the tire spoons as well. So I'm gonna open it up with my tactical T-square. And by the way, that's just a joke, because really all T-squares are tactical in the right hands. All right, ooh, look at that. Oh, that's got some weight to it. Nice package. There's another part here. Ooh, there we go. This is why we get it. Got this nice Beadbuster sticker. Work less, ride more. Okay, so Beadbuster, doing it right. Send me the stickers. Rebels Off-Road always likes stickers, so good job. That's part of the Beadbuster there. These are very nicely packaged. This one. Everything's wrapped really nicely. Got a lubed up bolt there. Got a little instructional pamphlet there. And then it's got the owner's manual, which basically gives you the rundown on how to use this tool. So have you ever seen two tires spin? No? Oh. Now you have. I think they were just tired. Get it? I'm so sorry. Anyways, this is what it comes with. Got this little pry bar here and then the two tire spoons. That'll help get the tire off of the wheel completely. Now this tool is developed for the ATV and UTV enthusiast. It's for really off-roading. And so like if you're in town, You know, you might just take it to a tire store, or if you have a tire machine, but those are really big and bulky, and not everyone has a tire machine, as well as it's not very available if you're out on the trail, if you're out camping, let's say, for a long weekend and you're gonna be doing a lot of off-roading, and then you puncture a tire, but you wanna get it changed out before your ride's over. You don't have that availability of having a tire change right there, and it will ruin your plans. However, this Beadbuster is meant to be able to just be thrown in your toolbox and be able to change that tire out with minimum equipment. That's how I'm gonna be testing it out. I am not going to be doing it here in this beautiful shop where conditions are ideal. So to keep it really authentic, I always keep my tire on the trailer. I don't take a spare with me on the trail. That's what tire plugs are for. That's what sidewall slugs are for. If you haven't seen the video of the sidewall slug versus the glue tread, I'll link it up here. You can check that out. But we keep those on our rig, and we keep the spare tire back on the trailer. We're gonna be changing the tire at the trailer as if we were at camp, and conditions aren't the best. Which they never will be the best when you go to change a tire on the trail. So it's snowing just a little bit, and there's you know, obviously snow on the ground. So we're gonna do it in real conditions. We're not gonna be in the nice warm shop, which is actually right over there. We're gonna be doing this in real conditions to show you how you might do it out on the trail. So you're gonna need a couple more things, or a couple more things will be really helpful with this Beadbuster when we're gonna go to change the tire out in the field. And so those things are, it's really nice to have an impact. This is my Milwaukee impact. Then you're gonna need your socket to take off the wheel lug nuts, a 5/16 socket, and that will be for your Beadbuster bolts there. And then a tree saver and a snatch block. This one is really nice. It's a soft shackle and a little donut ring snatch block that comes in handy. Since we are going to be jacking up the rig without an actual jack, I'm going to show you how to do that using your winch and a snatch block. It's super simple. We don't like to carry a bunch of extra stuff in our truck or in our rig when we go out and hit the trails. You know, it's just extra weight and extra you know, stuff to keep track of. We're going to go ahead and get the vehicle tipped up so we can take off the tire, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. So first I'm gonna find an anchor point for this tree saver, and what I'm gonna use actually is I'm gonna go up around the tire of the trailer. Then I'm gonna take my soft shackle and my snatch block. I'm gonna go ahead and loop that in and set that on the tree saver. And now we're gonna pull some winch line. Well, there is that strap. Gonna put it through the loop here and get it lined up with this donut ring like that. Continue to pull it out. Wrap it around the top of the roll cage and attach it. We have it all rigged up, and we're gonna go ahead, start up the machine, lock it in, lock the winch line in, so it's ready to go. Have my external switch there, but gonna start up the machine. Gotta have the machine idling so you don't have too much draw on your battery. And so now we're just gonna tip the machine. It helps if you have it in park first. My bad. All right, take two with the machine in park. There we go. Tire is off the ground, and now we're gonna go ahead, buzz off that wheel and tire with our impact. Don't lose your hardware. Go ahead and put that in my pocket. First, you want to take this valve stem core remover and take it out and let all the air out of the tire. I don't know if you ever used one of these, but this little part right here fits down into the hole and you can remove the valve stem. Now, you want to be very careful not to lose this valve stem unless you have a replacement. It's very small, and also if you do have air in your tire when you remove it, it tends to like to shoot out, so you don't want to lose it if you don't have a replacement. I do carry replacements usually with me, but in this case I'm not going to replace this. This tire is actually holding air just fine. That's what the core looks like if you've never seen one. I put it back in the bag now. So with a bead lock wheel like this, you don't want to remove the bead first off. You want to flip it over and de-bead the other side, because that's the one that actually is very stuck. So we're going to go ahead, after removing the air, turn it over onto the other side and get this bead busted. Before we get into actually using the tool, I want to just give a little overview on how it works. It has a couple different parts to it. This is the clamping mechanism, this jaw here, and then this is the actual de-beading mechanism. And so what you will do is you put this part in between the wheel and the tire, and this goes under the lip of the wheel, and then you clamp it down using this bolt, and so it holds it tightly to the wheel. And then you run this down, which pushes the tire away from the wheel and breaks that bead. So very inventive design. It is patented, and so great invention here. There's a bunch of other ways that people will try to get the beads undone. So the idea with this trick is to put the board right up against the bead there, and then drive your truck up the little ramp to put enough pressure on it to pop the bead off the wheel. Let's try it. For me, none of them have worked in the past, and so I'm excited to try this tool out to really see how well it works in the actual conditions that we would be using it in. We got this lubricant paste. It's all coagulated up. We're gonna get a little of that out though. Probably mix it with some snow, but you wanna mix it with some water of some kind. In this case, we don't have a spray bottle, but if we had a spray bottle, we would dilute this paste up a little bit, put it where we're gonna put the feet on. So we're gonna go ahead and smear this right there, grab some snow, get nice and lubed up in that area. Very unconventional. They don't tell you to use snow, just let you know, but snow is pretty lubricious. So then we're gonna go ahead and try to push the foot down in between the bead. All right, there we go. Now, this is key. You wanna see this be parallel with the inside of the tire or perpendicular to the tire right here, and you want it wedged up under the lip there. I don't know if you can see that. That is both of those things right now, and so it's nice and secure. Now we're gonna take our screw that goes right here and run it down. Good enough there. Now we're gonna take it off, move it a little bit, and do the same thing in another spot. Keep on working it around. Yeah. You may have to do this quite a few times before you get it all the way broken. There we go.
Oh, busted.
So we were running out of daylight yesterday to finish up the video. Could have finished it in the dark. However, the camera quality was just gonna go downhill really quickly. GoPros don't film very well in the dark. So picking it back up this morning, and as you can see, we've continued to have a lot of snow. So snow's coming off the roof over there. This is great though, because this can just show you what type of conditions that this can be happening under. You don't get to pick when you need to change a tire sometimes when you're out on the trail. This is the absolute worst conditions to change a tire out in, is the cold, and because tires tend to shrink up and have a hard time getting debeaded and getting off the wheel and stuff like that. Icy conditions, snowy conditions, anything under freezing is going to be very difficult. So I'm actually kind of happy that I chose to film this video now, because this is the absolute worst case you're going to have.
That sounds like a challenge.
I cleared off a little patch on the trailer for getting this tire off of the wheel, and then I'm going to bring back over my frozen tire, throw it up on the trailer, and try to get it on the wheel for you. If we can do it, anyone can. Stay tuned. The back side of this bead is broken. Did that yesterday, and now we're going to go ahead and take off the lock ring off of the bead lock tire. Take these out and set them aside. All right, all cleaned up. So once you have the ring off, you can go ahead and pick this up, rotate it around, and work this out. And there's your wheel. Wheel looks good. Not any big grooves or dents in it. Obviously, I've used this for rock crawling, so there are some scratches on it already. None of them look like they're caused by the Beadbuster though, so that's awesome. Now I mentioned this before, but this tire, there's nothing wrong with it. It was still holding air just fine. I did have a gash in it. You might have seen a video on that. I put this tire slug in it and it's been holding air ever since, but I wanted to go ahead and change it out because I have a subscriber ride coming up, and I didn't want to be on a tire that was patched up. Nothing wrong with this tire, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave this as my spare. And you know, if I slice up a tire too bad, I'll probably put this back on there. But I have a brand new Zilla already. I had bought it in case something happened. This Beadbuster gave me a perfect opportunity to go ahead and try out changing out this tire, and we'll be putting the new tire on it now. So one of the reasons we don't carry a full spare with wheel on our trailer or on our side-by-side is, one, if we carried it on the side-by-side, that's a lot of weight, and the only real place you can put it is up top, and we don't want to do that because it makes it too top heavy. And with the rock crawling and the hill climbs and stuff like that we like to do, we don't want to have any top heaviness at all if it's possible. So we keep the tire on the trailer. Then people ask, why don't you just have a wheel already installed on the tire when you go out to the trail? And the reason for that is because we would have to have two. Let's explain why. So I like to run Zillas. I think they're the best East Coast tire out there. From everything I've seen, these do the best in the slick rock, the wet and slimy and conditions that we have on the East Coast. They don't do the best in mud, and that's a given, but everything else up here, these are like the best. With the Zillas, they are a directional tire. What that means is the tread pattern has an orientation in which it goes in, and so you don't want to reverse those and have a different you know, orientation from the rest of your tires. Therefore, there's basically a 50-50 shot that if you mount it on a tire, that you're going to have it right, unless you know exactly the position in which that tire is going to go. Knowing my luck, it'd be the opposite. So that's why I don't have another spare wheel with a tire already mounted. You're broke. And that's why this Beadbuster is such a great idea to leave on the truck with the spare tire. We're going to go ahead and mount this up in the correct orientation and show you how to do that. The tire we're changing is the back left corner. The orientation you want the Zilla's tread pattern is like it's an arrow, so you want that facing forward. If we have the wheel set up like this and then the tire is facing forward, that's exactly how we want it. So I'm gonna go ahead, lay down the wheel just like that, and then when we go to put this on, we're going to do it like that. You want to mount the tire on the back side of the tire onto the front first, basically the exact opposite of how we took it off. I didn't really use their lubricant properly in the last section, but I did go ahead and mix some up. It's a 4-to-1 ratio water to lubricant, so basically 4 parts water, 1 part lubricant. I had to use some warm water to get it to mix up. You know, it's cold out here obviously. I think you could also use maybe some glycol or something like that so it wouldn't freeze up. I go ahead and pre-mix it though in a bottle before you brought it out on the trail. I think I'm going to try that next time. This is what we have for now, and this is still warm, so I'm going to go ahead and spray some on the wheel where we're going to be sliding the tire on, and then we're going to spray some all around the tire where we're going to slide it on. Get a good amount there. Okay, now if you've done this a whole bunch, this can be done in one shot. I have not done this a whole bunch, so we will see how this works. But you want it to be all lubed up, and then you want to just work it on, basically. If you get the angle right, this should be an easy slide on. If you don't get the angle right, though, you can struggle with it, like I'm probably going to be doing. you can usually just kind of wrangle that on there. For this next part, we want to go ahead and get this ring back on, and then we'll set the bead. You want to clean off the mating surface a little bit. Make sure it's free of dirt and debris if possible, but that will affect its seal. Any dirt and debris we definitely don't want in there. So go ahead and line it up. Finger tighten these bolts at first just to get them all started, and then there'll be a sequence that we want to put them in and torque them to spec before filling the tire all the way. So right now we're just going to go ahead and get them all started. This is a trick I was going to tell you about. Basically, take a 5-gallon bucket, toss the tire up on it. There we go, like that. And then we can go ahead, snug all these down. And like I said, this is just going to be the snug them. I'm going to go ahead and go back with the torque wrench to get the right torque. We're gonna go ahead and put our valve stem core back in, and then we're gonna go get our Go Baggy air compressor that's in our side-by-side. Got a 25-foot long air hose. You can check out that video, did a little review on that. I'll go ahead and post it up here, but that's the air compressor we're gonna be using, because now it's going to be time to set the bead, and we're gonna do that by compressing and also by inflating this tire. So let's go ahead and stick that valve stem core back in there, and then we'll get back into it. Yeah, spray some of this in there. Oh. Get nice and lubed up in there. So it really wants to pop over that bead, because that's what we need it to do now. Try it again. Once you hear that pop sound, that means that the bead is seated and you can let off the air pressure. Then you want to go ahead and check your air pressure. Make sure that you air down to the proper PSI. A lot of times you have to go up a lot higher PSI to get that bead to seat than what you really want to run. So on my Zillas, I run 10 PSI, so I had to lower it down to back to 10 PSI. It was like I don't know, like 20 PSI or so when it's set. So that was pretty decent. A lot of times tires are really hard to get on the bead, and so using the bucket kind of pushes that bead down, and if you get that seal going, then it will set the bead. You can also use a ratchet strap if it's especially stubborn and wrap it around the outside of the wheel and ratchet it down. And that will just help push that tire lip out towards the bead to make that seal, and then the air pressure will set the bead. That's about it. Got the tire back on. It's looking good. Brand new Zilla. The Beadbuster tool was a very, very large help with this whole process. I couldn't have done it without it. I've tried, like I mentioned, a bunch of different ways to get the bead debeaded on the tire before in the past, and none of them really worked for me. I was down to either taking it into a tire shop or the Beadbuster. So I highly recommend you throw one of these Beadbusters in your toolbox when you go out on the trail. Maybe leave one in the truck, and so you will have it at your disposal if you need to change a tire out in the field. That's what it's there for, and it really does a really good job of doing that. I'll go ahead and post a link to the Beadbuster down in the description. You can check it out for yourself. Go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet to stay up to date on all of the upcoming action. If you enjoyed this video, we have a lot more coming up. We also have the subscriber ride coming up, and you can find out more details about that at our Facebook page, Rebels Off-Road Official, and you can check out the dates and the plan with regard to that. It's going to be a really lot of fun, and we would love to see you there. So that's it for today's video. Go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning.